So I recently pulled them out of school and started homeschooling. The bullying came to a low roar, I guess you could say. And then it started up again. Foolishness, just, you have your drama, which there's drama in everybody's life, whether you like it or not. Um, but it was getting to the extent of not even being able to walk down the street, and these kids are yelling stuff out at them, screaming, go kill yourself, or just certain little things that may not bug somebody else, but bugs them, I guess you could say. Uh, where do I continue? Um, there was a situation here last week about, the media has said it was about a scooter. That's not correct. A scooter was involved, but it's been much more than that. These bullies are just getting away with way too much. They're tormenting the town. My two kids are not the only kids that are being tormented. There's things being stolen out of people's yards, and when these kids are approached about it, they deny it and they get away with it. I've confronted parents about some of the stuff being said to my kids and other kids, and I get no response. I've gone to the authorities about these children, and nothing can be done because of their age. Now, if they're old enough to be posting lies and rumors online about people, including myself, then they are old enough to suffer consequences. If a 15-year-old can do this, then why can't a 15-year-old have consequences for hurting someone else? My daughter does not leave the house without anybody anymore. If she does, there's just nothing but drama. When she defends herself, she's the one that gets in trouble, because it's always the person that stands up that usually gets in trouble, and that's how we're seeing things. There's a lot of children around here that are scared to go to the park now because they don't know what's going to happen. What I think needs to be done is, I think there needs to be harsher consequences for these bullies that think they're not doing anything wrong. They think their words don't hurt, but words stick. Now, my father died by suicide 3 years ago, so my children are very aware that it's possible, that it's a possibility that someone can kill themselves. So it's not a joke to me and my family like it is to some other people, who still have the stigma and associate that stigma. How do I put this? These 15 and 16-year-olds are continuing to get away with what they're getting away with because nobody's saying anything to them. And they just lie and say, no, I didn't do it, and it's over. People aren't realizing what their words can do. Even it hurts worse sometimes than physical actions. Now, my son is 9, my daughter is 13, and I homeschool both of them now because their mental health was deteriorating because nothing was being done. So, as a parent, I pulled them out and I homeschool. I would like someday for my children to be able to go back to public school without all of this. It shouldn't matter what my daughter wears for pants. They're not theirs. Who cares? It shouldn't matter what anybody wears. It shouldn't matter what they look like. Some people have acne problems. It's not up to somebody to point it out and make fun of. Instead of yelling negative, derogatory things to a child walking down the street, why can't you say something nice to them or be nice to them? If there's somebody walking down the street and they're doing something that you don't like or wearing something that you don't like, it's none of your business. You're not wearing it. I think my main point is that a lot of the fighting and the bullying and the drama stems from frustration because it doesn't get dealt with in a timely fashion. I tried to deal with it for 2 years with the schools and nothing was done. So what do I do as a parent? It's frustrating because I can't get my word out without people thinking I'm the bully. When all I want is everybody to get along, be nice, play together, stop stealing. If you didn't work for it, it's not yours. You don't take stuff of people's and get away with it. There's just so much down here in Bridgetown that's going on and not being looked at. The whole reason for the big uproar and the fight the other evening wasn't just over a scooter. It was because the bullying that these kids have done was not dealt with. So the other kids have gotten frustrated. They want it to stop. They want kids to stop being picked on. This bunch of teenagers in this town that are tormenting need to have consequences. There is none for them. They just keep getting away with it. They can post what they want to post. They can say what they want to say. And they can do what they want to do. And the people that are standing up to them are the ones getting in trouble. I'm not saying fight, but I'm saying the reason for these fights is because the victims are getting frustrated because they're always the victim. They're not being helped. So I promise these kids that are being picked on that I will try and help them. That I will try and see what I can have done so people will get along. Why do we have to fight? If you hear something on the street, why go spread it around and make it worse? Ask. If you want to know something, ask the person. Don't start a story. If you have an issue with someone and there's a problem, go discuss it. Instead of fighting and yelling and screaming and calling people names and pointing the finger and blaming each other, discuss it. You don't have to fight and throw things and get weapons out. Talk it out. If there's a problem, usually problems can be fixed with a discussion. If there's an issue with your child and they're being picked on, or your child's the one doing the picking, talk it out. See what the issue is. See what the underlying issue is. Discuss it. Don't fight. You don't have to call names. You don't have to do any of it. There's no need of it. Kids should be allowed to go to the park and play. It doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter what you're wearing. And it doesn't matter what you look like. I can't stress it enough that each person is individual, and it's time people stopped judging. Don't judge by other people's opinion. Form your own. Everybody has an opinion. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. But the struggles that me and my family have had for 2 years, and my children, losing sleep at night, struggling to get them to go to school for 2 years, the nightmares, the crying, the social anxiety, the depression. My daughter's in tears all the time. Her self-esteem, she doesn't have any. I'm the one that's trying to build that back up. But I'm only one person. Yes, I'm her mom, but she needs friends too. I'm trying to explain this in a way where I don't get angry, because it is my children. Excuse me. My child doesn't want to walk out the door. My other child is starting to not want to walk out the door, because every time they do, they're picked on, cornered behind the rink with weapons. 15-year-olds. I don't understand. So it's about safety as well. I'm the one that has to pick up my kids' pieces when they're crying at night and laying on my lap, wondering why nobody likes them, wondering why people say this and people say that. I don't have all the answers for them. The only thing I can do is love them and accept them and tell them they're perfect the way they are. I just want this to stop, and I think there needs to be stiffer consequences for the people doing the bullying. I know it's just names, and I know some people will say, well, build your resilience up and ignore it. It's really hard to ignore it when it's happening constantly and online. There comes a point in someone's life when they're bullied too much that they will defend themselves. So now, you tell them to defend themselves, they get in trouble. My daughter went to the principal I don't know how many times about being picked on and bothered and things thrown at her and the names and just the harshness of it. And the last time she did go to the principal's office, the principal told her if she kept tattletaling, she was going to get a detention and to just ignore it. That's not the case. It's not being dealt with properly, and I feel that there needs to be stiffer punishments for stuff like this. Just because it's words doesn't mean it doesn't hurt. So, what I'd like to see done is maybe some stiffer punishments, discussions, mediation, talk it out instead of fighting, speak out about it. If you're being bullied and somebody's posting something about you online and you can't get it dealt with because somebody feels it's okay to be posted, how do you deal with that? How do you don't retaliate, but you have every right to defend yourself. So if they're going to post and they're going to say stuff and lie and spread rumors, why can't the victim defend themselves without getting in trouble? I'm hearing from so many children down here that they won't tell on the bully anymore because they get in trouble. They won't tell on the bully anymore because nothing's done. They won't tell when they're being picked on because they're called a rat. Things just need to change. Some of these parents need to talk with their kids and tell their kids that it's not okay to be doing this to little children or to anybody. I'm an adult. I'm 34 years old. I get bullied. I get talked about, and I get lied about. There's stuff posted on me about me online that is not true, but I'm an adult, and I've built my resilience up. My job is to build my kids' resilience up, but it's really, really hard when it's constant. So what I'd like to see done is some stiffer punishments for the bullying, and if you can't punish the child for bullying and tormenting and harassing, then take it to the parents. Because anytime my children came to me and said that they were bothered, I asked them if they did anything to provoke it or to maybe egg it on, because I know no child is perfect. But I do know one thing, and it's that people need to start being nicer and stop judging. You cannot judge someone by their appearance. It's not nice. I just want people to be nicer, and maybe when something is brought to the authorities' attention, dig in deeper to it instead of just thinking it's rubbish and drama. The other night was not drama and not just over a scooter. It was about bullying that escalated into a fight because it was not dealt with properly.